Welcome back to Starting a Business Simplified. I'm your host, Suzy Wraines, and in this episode, I want to talk to you about manifesting your ideal business. We hear the word manifesting, it's really common now. It was something that has over time gotten more and more available to people to understand what it is and how it works. And what I want to clarify is believing, having faith in something you don't see. To me, and this is my opinion and how I see it, when I think about manifesting, I think about something that I want, having faith and believe that it exists, believing that it's available to me and it will happen. So how does this pertain to starting a business? How does this pertain to being a business owner or an entrepreneur, having these things in your life? So I actually came from corporate. So I worked almost over 15 years in corporate business, supporting different departments. A lot of it was finance, sales, marketing, places like that. So I saw a lot of numbers and I saw a lot of how things work in a business. I have my business degree, so I learned all that in business school as well. And applying it to myself, I realized that everybody starts somewhere. So when you're starting a business, you start with an idea. And I've talked about this before, visualizing what does your business completed, your business in its ideal state. What does that look like? We're going to take it a step further. How do you feel when your business is ideal? What is the feeling that's happening in your body? And this is where manifestation comes in. Manifestation is energy. We are energy beings in a human body. We have a spirit and energy to us. So when we are thinking about something that we're excited about, that we know is going to happen. So let's use an example of something that you're going to go on a trip. And so you've planned this, you bought the tickets, and it's 2 days before you're going to leave. You can feel the vibration in your body of how excited you are that you're going to go on this trip that you've planned for. Say you've been planning it for years. It's, an African safari or something that's just so massive that it's such a huge milestone for you to go on this trip that your entire nervous system in your body is activated. You can feel the vibrations happening in your body of how excited you are to go on this massive trip. Now let's go back to thinking about starting a business. When you visualize starting that business and what it looks like when it is completely done and it's running smoothly and it's beautiful, you want to think of it from that energy of going on a trip. How good it feels that it's happening. It's so exciting and so beautiful and so amazing. And your nervous system is vibrating and you're at a different frequency. And it's happening right now. Letting yourself feel what that feels like to be successful is going to bring the success to you. What's going to happen, and I'm going to talk in basic terms of just stuff that we can relate to. So going back to the trip idea, when you decided to go on the trip and you purchased the tickets, maybe you purchased them 6 months in advance. So you know it's not going to happen for 6 months. The anticipation and excitement is there, but it's not quite as high because you just purchased the tickets and you put the date on the calendar. The closer it gets to it being real, the more excited you get. You're like, oh, we're going to go. It's going to be soon. Yay. And you get all that excitement. When you're building a business, visualizing and getting into that high vibrational state of excitement of what it's going to be like when it's completed and you're successful and it's beautiful. Now you're going to think about, okay, we're going to think about the steps it takes to get there. And it's not going to be work. It's not going to be forcing anything. It's inspired action. And in my last episode, I did talk about inspired action, time, and consistency. So what happens is when you have that vision and you get into that feeling of it being complete, you're going to start to get intuition. You're going to start to get ideas flowing to you of things that you can do in order to get to that end result. And so taking those actions in the time when you feel them. I'm going to use this podcast as an example. I use it a lot and it's true because it's true. I was inspired to start this podcast. It was not on my strategy. I didn't have it on my business plan. I didn't have it. I'm going to start a business and I'm going to start a podcast and this is how it's going to go. None of that. One day, I just ran across an idea of, people talk about going live on social media and people talk about doing videos and going, this is on YouTube, everything, being out there on video and stuff like that. And people doing things inspired. I was listening to a lot of that. I was hearing, when you feel it, just do it kind of thing. Do a post when you feel like it. So then people feel your energy and they feel how inspired you are and they respond to that. And so I thought, what if I could just hit record when I was inspired and record a podcast episode? That's a great idea. So it came to me and I thought, okay, I don't know how to do a podcast. Never done one before. Didn't even really listen to them. Okay, I'm being honest here. I wasn't in the podcast world. I didn't really listen to them. I didn't really pay attention. I didn't know what it entailed to do one. But I had this feeling, this little nudge that said, Suzy, start a podcast. You can share who you are and what you do and your inspiration and help these people, listeners that you don't even know. You can actually help them start their business. You can help them with thoughts and ideas and encouragement and success stories and inspiration and all these beautiful things you can do through a podcast. And so I just did a little research and I was like, okay, let me just see if it's possible. And I started to do research. That was an inspired action to take an action to do something that now is a part of my business. It's what I do. I love doing it. And of course, I love doing it because it was inspired. I love doing this. Again, for those of you that are watching, this is a video podcast, which is new for me in this new year. It was inspired. I was like, I'm just going to stay on video. This year, I'm just going to do video and I'm going to upload it wherever video is allowed. YouTube, Spotify, they do video and everybody else can just hear me and that's okay. I was inspired to do that. And so your business vision, we're going to go back to the beginning. So we're visualizing this amazing business that's running and it's successful. And how you get there is through inspired action. You can start with ideas a lot of this I would say is journaling and thinking through what do you enjoy, what comes naturally to you, how are you feeling about it, and allowing yourself to just meditate on some of these amazing ideas that you have, but really listening to the ones that wake you up at night, listening to the ones that say, do it now. When you get that intuition of do it now, which is what I got for the podcast, it was just research it now and take action now, Suzy. This is what you should be doing. And I did. And here I am over a year later, and it's a beautiful thing and I love it. And so that's going to get you to what your business turns into. Those inspired actions. That is manifestation in action. It's not just going to float to you in the abyss and then boom, your business is successful. It's going to come to you in various ways. People are going to come into your path. You might find somebody that you have no idea how you're going to do this particular thing in your business. And then boom, somebody sends you an email and they're like, oh, hey, I just wanted to catch up with you. And I want to let you know that I'm doing A, B, and C. And you're like, you're exactly who I need to talk to. That's bringing the alignment together for you to be taking inspired action that's going to get you to the end result. So that's what I wanted to explain on this episode with manifestation in your business is having that vision, having that desire of what you want to be, and then allowing yourself to take the steps when they come to you in inspired action. You still have to do the work. You still have to do the action piece, but it's thinking through what are those actions actually and doing it in an inspired state, not doing it because you have to. Oh, I have to post on social media. I have to start a podcast. I have to do a YouTube channel. I have to go to this networking event. The have to goes out. There's not a have to. It's what am I inspired to do? What am I feeling excited about doing? And go do that. And you're going to have an amazing, successful business. I guarantee that. So, as always, keep it simple.